Hey everyone. So here we are at the house, surrounded by youth thrones, surrounded by podiums and the chair desks, and we even have these what I'm calling stool, like for a bar or for some environment in which you don't want stability. You want the challenge of having to balance in such a way that you're activating these other parts of your spinal system and your central nervous system to unify your body in a different way. You're always perfectly unified. See how you can use all of your feet, all of your toes to generate oppositional force to rotate the arm? Oh. See, this is bringing about balance. Put your hands back while you send your feet forward. And then flex your feet. And then lift them. As you lift and you activate your abdomen and your chest muscles. Be conscious of how you are living. Are you living to the front? You need to be living to the back some. You need to be aware of what's up there. You need to be aware of what's over there, what's up there. Now notice these dimensions, these meridians that I'm coming to. These positions of rotation. You can continue these polarizing hand positions. You can continue them in such a way that even though you may be at an extreme extension point, you can still incorporate this centrifugal motion that can maintain and give you the bandwidth, the muscular command choreography bandwidth to incorporate other joints that have themselves a polarized capacity, a polarized movement. Ooh. That is itself more perfecting. Maybe it's just a little bit. But hey, if it's a little bit, then that's more than nothing. And if it's more than nothing, that means it's something. And if that doesn't impact the way that you think or the way that you feel and the way in which you interface with the environment around you and with the environment within you, which is what you're doing. When you're commanding your postures to be fulfilling, you're getting that experience of fulfillment. By going to these corners in this box that we're in, imagine our bodies are just a whole bunch of little boxes. Or the sectors of our body are just surrounded in little boxes. Once that area stops, because it stops at some point. These altitudes and these attitudes that we apply to these postures that have an impact on the way that fluids are flowing through us, which has an impact on the nutrient delivery, the experience of oxygen being metabolized. in a smooth, efficient, effective way. In part because the musculature is in a more perfect, a more evenly distributed relationship to the force of gravity. This is why being wavy for some amount of time is innate to the body, but we can accentuate it. And that's one of the awesome things about human consciousness. We can utilize legacy information, inherited technology to become even better. We can activate, we can understand what it was about our evolutionary past that made us so powerful and so capable of generating these synergistic qualities that were latent in the human DNA design. Here's the machine. Here's the hardware for your brain and for the support systems so that it can continue to control the pharmacy. Our reactions are controlling the internal pharmacy. That's going to all of these biohacks. You're hacking your body's internal chemical calibrations. And you're activating and you're actualizing all that they can do for us. Notice how when I pick it up, I'm picking it up from just that 1 inch away, and then I'm making a little bit of contact. And almost always I'm coming back, or I'm walking in a line. I'm trying to train that into my body. I'm trying to utilize all of these different ways to sensitize myself to the force of gravity, which means sensitizing it to the infinite numbers of ways in which I can support it, in which I can slowly transition between postures that correspond and conform to the body's natural design. So if I'm pushing down, then this is what's being elevated. The more aligned I am for at least 1 or 2 reps, and what I'm considering a rep is there's a muscular action that corresponds to an aspect. Just like music, you can have quarter notes, you can have whole notes, you can have notes that sustain through measures. So too can your movements be sustained through breaths. The more perfectly it's choreographed, the more clearly you speak, the more clearly you think, the more clearly you can send these commands to the rest of your physiology to respire enough air in the right ratios such that it's loud enough to be heard by everyone in the room. It's in the same format, the same style of speaking, the same style of music that corresponds to my inner capacity for synthesizing external sources of energy. Sound waves, light waves. By simply existing, you're mediating the way in which light photons are being bounced off the world. That's a change you're making by merely existing. So here I'm popping on my feet. Normally I would look at them, okay, oh yeah, it's cool. But now what I'm doing, what I've been doing for several years now, is making these movements and looking up. This is the opposite. This is the antidote to to a clenched or relaxed, fatalistic, philosophical approach to life. I wasn't leveraging my power. I wasn't leveraging my capacity for generating the changes. I wasn't recognizing my capacity to command my inner chemistry, my inner pharmacy, by doing breath work, by stretching, by exercising in specific types of ways, using specific muscles in specific ways, stretching things at specific angles in specific dimensions. This is one of the benefits of always having a tape measure of some type around, because it enables you to be as accurate as possible. Hmm. 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 See, in basketball, I was always trying to be wide. I never jumped like this. That was never a style of jumping that I was ever taught. And it's not anyone's fault. It doesn't mean that my basketball coaches didn't understand that I needed that. They were trained in that. They were successful. They became teachers and had some basketball playing experience, so they were willing to coach the team. One grew up Catholic and the other grew up Protestant. But they grew up in a church in which these postures, in families in which posture was